welcome back to Crazy Little Book Page, where I talk about books and the pages in them. I am about 65 pages away from finishing this book. Finally, I really wanted to be done it on the 1st or even the 31st, but apparently that wasn't in the cards, but I will be finishing it today. Kids are at hockey right now. Well, they're not actually at hockey. They're in the gym practicing rugby for the springtime with their hockey team because our hockey arena is booked right now for a tournament. I really enjoyed this book. I have a feeling something big is coming in the last 65 pages of it. We have just gotten to the point where Gideon has found out Kincaid's secret and Nathan's secret, and it wasn't a good reaction, but something kind of expected that would come of it. I can't really mention much more without giving the book away. Gideon is Kincaid's new mentor, so after I'm done the book, I'll update you guys on what's happening. I plan to go from this into Strange the Dreamer and also start Sleeping Beauties. So I finished Lipstick Voodoo, and let me tell you, I was not expecting that twist at all. Like, I was expecting the twist, but not with the person, not with the character that was the twist. So I was expecting the twist, but not in that exact way. And I need to read the next book now. I don't know if I can wait another year for this book, and I am not ready for this series to be over. So Lipstick Voodoo is basically following Kincaid Strange and her ghostly roommate Nathan Cade, who gets himself bungled up into something, and he's bound to a zombie. I can't tell you like who it is or what it is because I don't want to ruin the series. If you haven't read the first book and I told you who it was, it would ruin it. Anyway, so it follows Kincaid. And I'm in a different location now because I didn't want to film while my husband's ex was in our car as we were dropping his son off. It follows Kincaid, and she's trying to solve a mystery of these killings that are happening, but they don't know what kind of paranormal entity is doing it. And Nathan is convinced that it's a demon, but it's not really a demon, and her mentor, Gideon, has to give her some hints later on in the book. And so there's that. So I really did enjoy this book. This book is seriously probably one of the best books I've read so far this year. Wow, it was just really good, and you need to read this series if you haven't read it. It is a great series. Like, it's an adult urban fantasy, and it's super fast-paced and really fun to read, and that's pretty much all I can give you right now. So I'm looking forward to finishing off Strange the Dreamer and also reading Sleeping Beauties because I'm going to start that first and get it knocked out because February is a short month and I don't want to be reading that all month long. So I'm going to get that one done and then hopefully start my review book and also the Heather Demetrios book, and then get to The Outsider. Hopefully I can get that all done in this month. It's only the 2nd day of February, so I have some hope. So I'm about 100 pages into Strange the Dreamer, and I've already come to something in the book that I really do not like in books. I am not one of these people that really likes over descriptive information that really doesn't belong in the book, and I'm not sure if this is the case with Laini Taylor and Strange the Dreamer because I have not read more into it, but she just really over describes the dressing room and all the dresses in the dressing room and why the ghost girls don't like them. I don't know if they're ghost girls or fairies or what. I don't really understand this part of the book quite yet because it literally just started a chapter or two ago. But it's really over descriptive where it doesn't seem to fit in the book, and while the book is really good, I think it could be better without that over description. You guys can tell me in the comments below if this is typical of Laini Taylor's books, because this is literally the first book that I have ever read of Laini Taylor's. So again, tell me in the description below if you think this, or if this is something that's typical of Laini Taylor, so that I can be forewarned when I read the Daughter of Smoke and Bone series. So, 114 pages into this. I've read 128 pages today. I'm not sad about the fact that I only read 10 pages of Strange the Dreamer so far today, because I read like 114 pages of Kincaid Strange and finished it today, so I don't feel like I didn't get anything done. So let's talk about Strange Dreamer. I'm liking the story, however, I am not liking the fact that it is very flowery. I don't really like over descriptive books, so don't kill me for this, but Strange the Dreamer probably is not going to end up a 5-star book just for that reason alone, because it is very flowery. Although the story is very intriguing, it's a interesting concept. I'll give it that, but the over descriptiveness is really kind of irritating to me, and I don't know if this is normal for Laini Taylor. So like I said, comment in the comment section below and let me know if this is something that I'm going to have issues with in the Daughter of Smoke and Bone series, because I am going to read that eventually this year as well, and I just want to know it going into it if that is what I should be looking for. So you may notice that I have rearranged my home, where my couch now faces the back or the front of my bookshelf, so you'll probably see them more in my videos again. I am really having a lot of trouble with Strange the Dreamer. I don't know what it is. Don't hate me, guys, for what I'm about to say, but a lot of fantasy books that are YA, for some reason, build worlds that do not make any logical sense whatsoever. It took Laini Taylor 118 pages to tell me who the rest of the characters in this book were and why they were chosen to come. We're spending a lot of time on this desert and them crossing, when I would have much preferred to have every chapter tell me, you know, where they were, who they were picking up, why they were choosing those characters. It does not make any logical sense to me to talk about a desert and desert beasts for 20 to 40 pages. It makes no logical sense to the story. It's not really even necessary to the story, except that they're having a bad time. We could have got just as much out of this story in the first 120 pages by her introducing these characters in a way that was more conducive to the story. And don't hate me for that. I'm still continuing on, powering through, but I am having a huge amount of problems with this book and the logic of it. It's just not working for me right now. I'm hoping that will change. I really do care about the characters. They are very likable characters. I really like Laszlo and Khalees. I hope that's how it's pronounced. Friendship. I really enjoy the bond that they have, but I would like to see some interaction with the other characters in the book, other than the ones that we have already met in the beginning, like Nero Thane, or whatever his name is. I would like to see some interactions with other characters and how Laszlo interacts with them and gets along with them. So, I think for now I'm just gonna put this book down because I'm lost as to what's happening in this book. I don't understand this world. I can't connect really with the characters. And I think that's because from everything that I've Googled so far, like nothing spoilery or anything, just like characters in the book or like what the Citadel is. It always refers back to the Daughters of Smoke and Bone series. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to read that first and then come back to this book because I'm having a lot of trouble getting into this book, and I think that I definitely need to read the other series before reading this one. So I'm going to move on to my Stephen King book that I have, Sleeping Beauties, that I have to read, and then go from there. Hey y'all, so we're just on our way to pick up my son from Cubs, but I just wanted to update you a little bit about where I'm at. I did pick up Stephen King's Sleeping Beauties, and it's told in 2 different timelines, so I'm assuming that one timeline is written by Stephen King and the other one is written by my husband's acting like a creep behind me, so and I'm assuming the other timeline is told by Owen King. At least that's how it seems. The writing style is a little bit different, but not too much different, so I like that. I'm only on page 12, but so far I'm really enjoying the story. It starts off in a women's prison, which I've never actually read a book that's set in a women's prison. I've never actually read Orange is the New Black. I've only ever so I've never actually read anything that's set in a women's prison. So for me, this is a new concept and I'm really enjoying it, especially since it's coming from the King himself. So there's that. It's really icy. My husband is my guide here. So with that's the update I wanted to give you. I also wanted to talk to you about another book that I'm actually currently reading called Sweet Tea and Secrets by Joy Avon. It's the second in a cozy mystery series. I can't remember what it's called, but I'll put a picture of it like right here so you can see the cover. It doesn't come out until July, but I really love the way it's going right now. I'm about 38% of the way through, and I'm really enjoying it. It follows a girl named Callie, and she's trying to solve this mystery of a woman who went missing in 1989, while helping her friend Ace Falk, who is a deputy at the police station, and also her romantic interest, I guess. Like, they're not together or anything, but she really likes him, and I guess they got along well together in the first book. The thing that I really like about this book is I didn't need to read the first one to understand the plot of this one or to connect with the characters, so I really like that. I actually really like that about cozy mysteries. Like, if you miss a book, you don't have to read each consecutive book in the series to understand what is happening, because they all kind of follow their own plot, even though it's like the same characters. But I will be going back to read the first book because I am really enjoying the second book in the series, and I really like the writing style that Joy Avon has. So yeah, I'm about 2% done this big honkin' book, and I plan to read it right now. I'm gonna watch some YouTube videos and read this big honker of a book for a little while, and then probably go back to my ebook to maybe get it done today. So I'm kind of struggling with Stephen King's book too because it's so big, it's so overwhelming, and so I got 4 audiobooks from my library, which I will be listening to because I know I'm not going to get the Stephen King book done this month, I don't think. It's just really big and overwhelming, and I'm very intimidated by it, which is saying something because I don't get really intimidated by a lot of books. But I did go to Chapters and pre-order Samantha Shannon's Priory of the Orange, and let me tell you, if Indigo decides to put that on 40% off after I just spent $40 on it, I am going to be very mad. And the only reason I spent $40 on it is because it is Samantha Shannon, and I really love her writing, and I have all the rest of her other books, so I really just wanted to be able to have it, like, when it comes out. But for some reason they send your pre-orders to the store in order to get like free shipping. I wasn't paying $5 to have it shipped to my house, so in order for them to send it free shipping, you get it like a week after it comes out, and oh my god, I'm so annoyed. But I also picked up Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, which is the first in the Grishaverse trilogy. So I'm gonna delve into this and see what it's all about, because I've heard nothing but amazing things about it, and I think I'll like it. And I don't want to pick up Six of Crows without having read the trilogy first, and I tried to find it on my library in audiobook, but they don't have it, and the wait for the ebook is like 12 weeks, so I was like, I'll just buy it. So I'm gonna go relax and read some of this and see how far I get into it. I've read a lot today, actually. Like, I read 14 pages of Stephen King. I read like 12% of my ebook that I'm reading, which is Sweet Tea and Secrets by Joy Avon, which is the second in the, can't even remember what the series is called. So I've read that today, and I also am going to start this. So I actually am reading quite a bit in my day. I'm just not reading it over the same book, which is fine. I don't feel like a failure as long as I'm reading something every day and I'm getting quite a few pages in, then I feel better about it. So I'm on page 13 of Shadow and Bone, and I'm actually really enjoying it. I like the writing style, which I assume that I would, because most people who share my reading likes and tastes also like this book and her writing style. It seems interesting. From what I'm getting, this alternate universe is kind of like it's based off of Eastern Europe, like Russia, Poland, Ukraine, Czechoslovakia, Bosnia, those kind of places, and so far it's good. I'm really enjoying it. So, I need to do a little bit of a ranty clip. I've been watching BookTube a bit this last few days, and I have noticed a trend, and it's something that has always bothered me about BookTube, and part of the reason why I took a 5-month break from YouTube. I've noticed that booktubers mostly read YA. A lot of them don't, well, a lot of them love the genre, but they'll read books in YA, in genres of YA that they don't like, they're not comfortable with, and they end up hating the books that they're reading in those genres that they don't love. And you can tell me if this assessment is false or fact or not, but to me it seems very, very cliquish, and like, why would you? That's why I took a break from YouTube for 5 months, because, and I said this in my first video of this year, I don't want to be a part of a community where I'm reading books that I know I'm not going to enjoy. I like only very limited amounts of YA. Like, in YA, I virtually only will read, like, fantasy books, fantasy YA novels, because adult fantasy sometimes overwhelms me and I find it very intimidating, and I just like the writing style of YA fantasy and sci-fi better, because it's more, it's less intimidating, to be honest. So a lot of YA fiction I don't like, and I was finding that I was reading a lot of hyped up YA, that I wasn't liking because it's in genres for YA that I don't enjoy. And I made a promise to myself that this year I'm only going to read books that are interesting to me, that I find interesting, and so a lot of this channel will be adult thrillers, adult urban fantasies, YA, sci-fi, and fantasy, and like obscure books and nonfiction, because those are books that I enjoy. Like, I have a pretty diverse reading style already. Can it be more diverse? Yes, it can. But I also enjoy going back to the childhood classics that I have read in my childhood and really enjoyed, because they're comfortable for me. They bring me feelings of comfort, they bring me feelings of joy, nostalgia, and I want to relive that sometimes. So here's some advice to YouTubers, whether you have 10 subscribers or 50,000 subscribers or 100,000 subscribers. Stop reading books in genres you don't enjoy, because you're wasting, for me anyways, at 35 years old, I have some life experience and some life advice, and I know this may seem harsh, but why are you spending your life reading books in genres that you already know you hate? It makes no sense to me to read something that you don't enjoy. It's a waste of your time and energy to read a book and power through it just to get it done when you're not enjoying it. Life is far too short to be wasted on books you know you're not going to enjoy. And that's just my life advice for you today. Sorry it seems a little harsh, but I guess as I'm getting older, I don't see it necessary to do things that please other people if they're not pleasing you. Because you're the one who has to live with yourself. You're the one who needs to live your life. You're the one who has to enjoy your life. So live it in a way that you're going to enjoy it. Read books that you know you'll enjoy. So this is my last clip for the week, for the first week of February, I guess. I finished one book called Sweet Tea and Secrets, which I will put a picture of up here. That follows a girl named Callie and a detective named Ace Falk and a guy named Quinn who are trying to solve a decades-old mystery, and they finally do. So I thought it was a really good book. It was cute. I love cozy mysteries because you don't really have to do the first one in the series in order to go on with the second one, which this one is the second in a series, a book tea mystery series by Joy Avon, and I rated it 5 stars. It was really cute. I liked it. I can't really give out too much because it'll give the plot away, but if you want to see my more in-depth review, you can check out my Goodreads, which will be listed down below. I have 3 more books on the go. Sleeping Beauties by Stephen King, which is, I'm 2% done that. Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, I'm 8% on that. I'm listening to an audiobook called Dear Martin by Nick Stone, and I'm a quarter of the way through that, and I just started another review book that I have to get done by for NetGalley, which comes out tomorrow, and it's called Where She Lies by Michael Scanlon. So hopefully by next week I'll have some more books read. I feel like I'm epically failing my TBR, which is fine, I guess. I've read 2 books this month so far. Hopefully I'll get some more done by the time my next video comes up. So with that, I will see you guys next time, and happy reading. If you like this video, please click the like button down below and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!